Hello, I'm Dr. Derek, and today I'm with Linda, a good friend of mine, and I wanted to find out a little bit about Linda's experience, number one, with chiropractic care, but I also wanted to hear her story, and specifically her son's Bo story, and a little bit about what they've been through over the last 15 to 16 years. So, Linda, can you give me an idea of what you've been through and where Bo's at and what's been going on?
Yeah, sure. Well, right now Bo is 17 and a half. He was diagnosed formally with autism at 2 and a half. We knew something was wrong for sure by a year and a half, so it took a good year to get formal diagnosis. It's a really, really long journey. I do believe my son is vaccine injured. He was my second child. My daughter was 2 and a half when he was born. He was very typically developing. No one was concerned about his development. Not me, not the pediatrician, not family. Everything looked like it was okay. He was hitting his milestones. He was a great nurser, growing like a weed, and doing all the stuff he was supposed to do, pointing, laughing, talking. You know, he had words and stuff. And between 16 and 19 months, all those things just started disappearing. He stopped looking at us. He stopped paying attention. He stopped responding to his name. It seemed like he stopped understanding what we were saying. And on top of that, a lot of other things like not sleeping, suddenly tons of GI issues, diarrhea, uncomfortable, unhappy kid, and we were trying to figure out what happened. That was in the wake of his MMR vaccine. And some kids have seizures right away or really big issues right away. For Bo, it was more of a slow change over time after that. We did a lot of things medically to try to figure out what happened. A lot of that's been really helpful. We did figure out that his immune system did not respond normally to any of the vaccines he received. So over the years, we've done a lot to treat that GI tract and help the immune system and a lot of other things that are kind of offline. He is still a really impacted young man. He's nonverbal and still has a lot of, medical issues to deal with. But I personally don't know where we'd be without the kind of care we pursued with him. So,
with that being said, specifically, what role has chiropractic care, or what role have we played in helping Bo find balance in his life?
Chiropractic care is something I wish I'd have come into sooner, because we've probably been here about 3 years now. So he was 14 when we started.
And you're also getting adjusted.
I am.
Amber's also
My
getting
daughter,
adjusted.
yeah.
And so is Hal, your husband. So it's a family experience, no doubt about it.
Yeah. Actually, autism is a family experience. Once
Oh,
you
yeah.
once you learn what you learn about the vaccines and the food and the chemicals and all the things you're exposed to, and you realize how they impacted one of your children, you change the entire family's
You sure do.
lifestyle. You just can't go on the way you were. You can't go on the path you were on before. You just can't. So it's changed for everybody. And like I said, I wish we'd have come into it sooner, because it's like a foundational thing for Bo.
That's exactly what I would say.
You know what I mean? And for me too. But with him, and he's kind of a tough cookie. He's a nonverbal kid. He's got a lot of behaviors. He is sometimes not cooperative. But this is meaningful to him, so I know that it's helping him. I know that it's doing something for him, because he is happy to come here. For the most part, he's pretty cooperative with being adjusted and stuff. Yes. So I know that it is helpful to him, and I think just like everything's better, everything's easier for him. When we came in, he was having really bad migraines. We were really in trouble with head pain.
Yes.
And that was the first thing that started to subside. I remember being able to go off a couple of medications for that at the time. It's something we still watch, but we're in a much better place than we were before.
That's awesome.
Yeah, and his GI tract too, many, many issues, and this is always, it's just a piece that has to be there for him. And sometimes we get into trouble. Sometimes it's even hard to get him in the office because he's physically not okay.
We got to make sure we have bananas on hand.
Yeah, he's a banana guy.
I love bananas.
Yes, but
so does my son.
It's a piece that's really helpful if it's there, because everything else goes better for him. So all the things you're doing with diet and good supplements and good therapy, all the stuff you're putting your money into, it just needs to be there.
And that's a great point. I had another conversation with a woman last week, and she's dealing with Lyme's disease. And I know that also impacts the immune system in such a negative way, causes the imbalance.
Mm-hmm.
And we had the same discussion. Chiropractic is not a profession that goes after a disorder, a disease. We're not combating autism. What we're looking to do is build a good foundation to enhance the function of the neurology, to enhance the function of the immune system, so that how we eat and how we move and how we think can all improve upon within itself. So everything else that you're trying can only get better. Exactly. Because of it. And that's the beauty about this whole process. And really for me, chiropractic is just about living a healthier, well-maintained life.
Right.
And it's part of the lifestyle. And it's really cool to see, not only with Bo and some of the changes that he's made, but it's cool to see how you've changed. You're handling stress much better.
It's true. I feel it when I haven't been adjusted.
I can see it in your face.
Yeah, I know.
Your demeanor is in a better place. And it's allowing you to live the life that you were supposed to live. Because you've been going through a lot for a long, long time, and the stress adds up. And this is just another way to release for you.
It's true. I mean, autism parents are can be kind of a pressure cooker on many levels. You have a sick child, you have a child who's struggling, you're worried about them for the rest of their life. Financially, it is a huge demand.
Yeah.
And so the stress is pretty high up there. Tough on marriages, just tough on every part of your life, tough on siblings. So having a way that's good for you to handle stress, because sometimes we pick bad ways to handle our stress.
You got it.
I know, but I can feel it when I'm not in here. When I walk out the door, I feel better, more centered, like I can handle it and like I'm okay in my own body. I don't know if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
And it's funny because years ago I had a friend who was a chiropractor. This is before I had my children. And he had 6 kids, all super healthy kids. And he said to me, this is in 1995,
Sure.
He's not vaccinating his children.
Yeah.
And that sounded so crazy to me.
Mm-hmm.
And that's probably the only regret I really have in my life. I wish I had not vaccinated my children. And I went back to him and later said, I should have listened to you. I should have done my research, and I didn't. I just sort of trusted status quo, and I got in trouble. My kid got in trouble. My kid got really, really sick. So I think chiropractors have been pretty on target for a really long time. I wasn't paying attention like I should have.
And I think the moral of the story is that we need to listen to our hearts. We need to really do the research.
Yeah, it's out there.
We need to honor the body, respect the body, do things that can bring the stress levels down, allow our bodies to be in a good position to heal and find balance. And this is just a part of the whole process. And I think for you, going through what you had to go through, it's made you a stronger person. And not many people can handle the situation like you have handled it. I mean, you're working with TACA, talk about curing autism.
True.
To me, it should be TAPA, talk about preventing autism.
That'd be great.
And I know we've had a really good relationship in trying to spread the word with that. And like I said, that organization needs you. Things have happened for a reason. And going forward, it's only going to get better. And I love that you're sitting here with me and telling the story and helping other parents out there that maybe, number one, don't know if they should go down path A or path B, and allowing them to hopefully dig a little bit deeper and start investigating. And then number two, if they're in a tough situation, if their kiddos are struggling with sensitivities, we're helping them hopefully find answers and find resolutions.
I love TACA, and it's just parents of kids with autism trying to help other parents of kids with autism simply by making sure they have access to tons of information, good information, really current information about how to help their kids, whether it's diet or appropriate medical treatment or therapies or IEPs, like all the stuff we have to figure out for our kids and be able to do well for our kids. It's all about that. And I mean, Dr. Tony's been at our meetings a few times talking about chiropractic care, and it's just another piece of things parents need to know about. But I just know as a mom, when my son was sort of, it was like we were going down a dark tunnel.
Yeah.
Watching him deteriorate and change and become autistic. I just didn't know at the time quite what I was looking at. And you feel so scared, alone, sleep deprived. I don't ever want another parent feeling that way. And with like 1 in 88 kids being diagnosed.
I think it's down to 1 in 50 males.
Yeah, it depends on the study you look at. But yes, like no parent should ever feel alone. That no parent should ever feel alone. We need to talk to each other, share information, support each other, and it's the only way to make something good out of what happened to Bo.
Yeah.
You know,
You're exactly right.
I'm working as hard as I can to help him. If I can help another parent along the way, all the better.
And if we can prevent it in the first place by building awareness, and that's what Kicks for Kids, my charity soccer tournament, is really striving to do, that's what we need to be doing. So we got to keep telling the story. So thank you so much.
You're welcome.
For hanging out with me today and telling us your story, because I know it's not easy, but if we can save one life because of it, I think it's worth it.
I agree.
Thank you, Linda.
Thanks.